Booming Thunder Radio, where we groove as the spirit moves. Yeah. Drawing the honey from the rock with the righteous Reverend Doctor on Booming Thunder Radio.
Welcome, mighty friends. Brother TC coming at you live from the bayou. Yeah, down by that glade water. Yeah, like that DC swamp stinking right outside your bedroom window. Yeah, the fourth watch comes and he speaks words of an OS that has an I am kind of an aim with the eye set as you lay down on the left-hand way. They love the lies more than the truth. The whole world. And so, in His mercy, our Father has given them what they love. The lie. That the lie will consume them forevermore in their unrepented hearts and their unwillingness to receive. But understand, little children, your fathers have been enslaved for their whole lives. It's all they know. That rock in their pocket needs to go upside their head. The circumcision of their ears so that they can hear, and it's your duty, little child of the light, to be merciful in the way of everlasting, revealing the Mashiach to them, planting a little seed in their heart. Shock treatment does no one. Well, it does some good. It lets the darkness hone in on you like, you're out there in gun sight ranch, hunting your steak, never knowing that you are their dinner. But say no more. Turn from Mystery Babylon and walk everlasting, in everlasting glory in our Father Yahovah's garden, with the blood of the Son of everlasting, the everlasting glory upon the earth, the Word living and breathing inside a man's heart, inside a man's mind, building the kingdom of heaven deep inside their hearts, a radiance of the firmament of the sun, that never sets. It is everlasting, faithful and true. All those who wait upon the eagle's wings and soar upon the mountains, and learn to fly and nest, and to bring the mountain low, humbling themselves themselves, that the valley may be raised, at the scent of the ocean and the raging of the sea could receive the blood covenant, and bring forth a son of everlasting love in their womb, a womb that was once the whore of mystery Babylon, but no more. Let them turn away, mighty Father. Let them be forgiven. Let the veil before their eyes that covers your glory, let their faith in you now, Father, set their rod in a different way, a way of everlasting, a way that makes their heart the womb of their mind, that beats and throbs for you alone, mighty Yahushua, the Mashiach, the living Word, the Holy One of spiritual Israel. That by the love of their mother upon these sons, only revealing the right hand, the loving nature of everlasting upon each of them. And then, mighty friends, the greatest delight and the grandest of fathers' hearts can be seen as each father sees the mother nurturing the son until their 13th year, when they can recite the Torah portion that they were brought forth under in mighty Yahovah's perfect time. Do you know your Torah portion? Do you know the word of everlasting that is on your life? You only have to believe the size of a mustard seed and get into the word each and every day, praying to the Father that the glory of the Word, which is His Son living in our hearts, would come forth in the Father's perfect time, that the Mashiach, has come, will come, and is coming, an everlasting heaven to be groovy in the rock and roll army. Some up on the porch like old grandpa, rocking and smiling, right hand raised for all. And then there's others that pluck the heartstrings of men. Groovy rock and rollers that receive revelation from heaven, never knowing it, as they reveal it upon the hearts of Mystery Babylon again and again. It's only in the Jubilee year, the 7th month of the Jubilee year, does the Mashiach come to be prepared in hearts that are made straight. That those Hanukkah candles with outstretched arms would be removed by the straightness of your budding rod. That the 7 spirits of everlasting he could rest upon the Sabbath day with great delight, and that the 8th festival light would be the one Yehoshua would set afire again at the Father of lights, mighty Jehovah's perfect time. So in order for us to get there, mighty friends, we must set the capstone above our archway, and it be not like the one in Washington, D.C. said just the other day, the Arch of Baal, this cursed thing, like a Christmas wreath on a Baptist church's door. Yeah, a double wreath on a Methodist swinging hinge. Yeah, it should never be this way no more. All the tribes are guilty. Yeah, each and every one. The whole earth is asleep. None are worthy. So hear this word, which mighty Jehovah has spoken against you, sons of Israel, against the entire family which he brought up from the land of Egypt. You only have eyes chosen among all the families of the earth. Therefore eyes will punish you for all your iniquities. Do two men walk together unless they have made an appointment? Does a lion roar in the forest when he has no prey? Does a young lion growl from his den unless he has captured? Does a bird fall into a trap on the ground when there is no bait in it? Does a trap spring up from the earth when it captures nothing at all? If a trumpet is blown in a city, will not the people tremble? If a calamity occurs in a city, has not mighty Yehoshua brought it forth for the everlasting glory of the eternal Father, Yehovah? Surely Yehoshua, our God, does nothing unless he reveals his counsel to his servants, the prophets. A lion has roared. Who will not fear? Mighty Yehoshua, our God, has spoken. Who can but prophesy when they read Amos 3:8? Proclaim on the citadels in Ashdod and on the citadels in the land of Egypt, and say, assemble yourselves on the mountains of Samaria and see great tumults within her. and oppressions in her midst. But they do not know how to do what is right, declares mighty Jehovah. These who hoard up violence and devastation in their citadels. Therefore, thus says Yehoshua our God, our King of everlasting, the one that receives the glory of the Father and reveals it unto each of us. An enemy, even one surrounding the land, will pull down your strength from you, and your citadels will be looted. Thus says mighty Jehovah, just as the shepherd snatches from the lion's mouth a couple of legs or a piece of an ear. Do you hear? So will the sons of Israel dwelling in Samaria be snatched away. Tares in the field that the wheat can be made ready. With corner of a bed, and cover of a couch. Mystery Babylon lives and breathes in their hearts and minds. Hear and testify against the house of Jacob, declares Yehoshua, our mighty God upon the earth, the God of all hosts, yea, the demons that they worship. For on the day that the eyes punish Israel's transgressions, the eyes will also punish the altars of Bethel. Do you hear? The horns of the altar will be cut off, and they will fall to the ground. In mighty Jehovah's perfect time, that you may marvel and fear and tremble and work your salvation out, yea, and turn away from Mystery Babylon, yea, and come and receive a mustard seed in your heart before the 8th day, and you're bound in this Sheol of darkness forevermore. Be not deceived by the minds of carnal men who reveal the way of darkness, which are tunnels in the depths of the earth, and not radiance and magnificence in the garden, yea, the garden of Eden each day. Eyes, yea, the eyes will also smite the winter house together with the summer house. The houses of ivory will also perish, and the great houses will come to an end, declares mighty Jehovah. Jeremiah 36 and 22, Judges 3 and 20. Yet you have not returned, yea, to the one who made you, yea, into what you have yet to become. That the twinkling of your eyes would be in this day, yea, that your fingertips would not be crushed when the 8th day closes the door. Yea, that only the righteous can come in and out forevermore. Hear this word, you cows of Bashan, who are on the mountain of Samaria, who oppress the poor, who crush the needy, who say to your husbands, bring now that we may drink. Yea, Yahushua, our God has sworn by his holiness. Behold, the days are coming upon you when they will take you away with meat hooks, and the last of you with fish hooks. And you will go out, breeches, each one straight before her, and you will cast to Harmon, declares mighty Jehovah. Enter Bethel and transgress. In Gilgal multiply transgression. Bring your sacrifices every morning, your tithes every 3 days. Offer a thank offering also from that which is leavened, and proclaim free will offerings. Make them known. Yea, a little place for you, for so you love, you spiritual sons of Israel, the lost sheep that the Father of light's everlasting glory, the word in a man's heart seeking, and declares all things. Yahushua saves us and reveals the Father in the tabernacle of our mind. But the eyes give you also cleanness of teeth in all your cities, and lack of bread in all your places. Yet you have not returned to Yahushua, declares mighty Jehovah. You love not the word more than your next breath. You love the lies by the ministers of the craft. That mystery Babylon, you're so blind you don't even know what you live in. The word must be studied. It must be lived and come alive in your life, not by the carnal mind, mighty friend, that wars with the everlasting continuously. It must be overcome. That the 8th day, yea, the 8 minds of the Spirit, your 7 spiritual minds, and the one that walks between them that makes it all go round and round. Yea. Furthermore, I withheld the rain from you, while still 3 months until harvest. Then I would send rain on one city, and on another city I would not send rain. One part would be rained on, while the part not rained on would dry up, a marvel upon the earth. Yea, for each of you so 2 or 3 cities would stagger to another city to drink with their water, but would not be satisfied. Yet you, mighty friend, have not returned to Yahushua. Yea, declares our Father, Yahovah. Do you love the Word enough that it comes alive in your heart and mind? The eyes shall smote you with scorching and mildew, and the caterpillar was devouring, yea, inching his way up the trees of life, yea, the trees of the knowledge of good and evil. Your many gardens and vineyards, fig trees and olive trees. Yet you have not returned to Yahushua the Mashiach, declares mighty Yahovah, our God. Yea, plagues sent among you after the manner of Egypt. Yea, the eyes slew your young men by the sword along with your captured horses. Yea, like the Vietnam War, a jubilee time ago. Yeah, it breaks my heart to think of all those lost souls. The stench of your camp rise up in our nostrils. Yeah, let it rise up in yours forevermore. Yet you still have not returned to Yahushua the Mashiach, truly loving the Word. You love some pagan idol, skillfully woven, a covering, yea, that will be burned off you when there is no rain. I overthrew you as God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and you were like a firebrand snatched from a blaze, yet you have not returned to the Mashiach, Yahushua, Yahovah's Son who saves. Yea, the everlasting glory of the living Word in your heart declares, mighty Yahovah, our God. Therefore, thus the eyes will do to you, O Israel, because the eyes will do this to you. Prepare to meet your God, O Israel. For behold, he who forms mountains and creates the wind, and declares to man what are his thoughts. He who makes dawn into darkness, and treads on the high places of the earth. Mighty Yahovah, yea, the God of hosts is his name. Yeah, seek Yahushua, his everlasting Son, the Word living in your heart, that you may live, and that Yahovah, his glory, may be seen in the tabernacle of the beloved David in your heart and mind. Yea, so hear this word, which I take up for you as a dirge, O house of Israel. She has fallen. She will not rise again. The virgin Israel. She neglected on her land. There is none to raise her up. For thus says Yahushua, the God of our everlasting word in our heart. The city which goes forth 1,000 will bring 100 left, and the one which goes forth 100 will have 10 left to the house of Israel. The 10 upon a man's heart and mind, lustful for the 7. Yea, demons of darkness appearing as angels of light, deceiving them as their fathers were deceived? Or do these 70 love the Mashiach, the living word of truth, Yahushua, the one slain only because he let them slay him, that he may, in the Father's perfect time, save them for the Father, for it is the Father's will in heaven and upon the earth. Yea, let each of us pray that the will of our Father in heaven would be in our hearts, that we would be the ones chosen and found worthy to speak the word in heaven and bring it forth now and forever, this day as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is as this day. With our Father of everlasting glory, revealed only by a love of the truth, with a shovel in your hands, when the knowing that life is a garden, and you gotta dig it. Yeah. A D-I-G with a capital I-T exclamation point. Control B, Control A, Control B, for thus says mighty Yahushua to all the house of Israel, seek the Mashiach in your heart and mind, a love of the word, a love of the truth, more than your next breath, that you may live. Yeah. Those who seek not to save their lives shall live, and those who seek to save their lives shall perish. But do not resort to Bethel. Do you hear? Do not come to Gilgal, nor cross over to Beersheba. For Gilgal will certainly go into captivity, has it not? And Bethel will come to trouble. Yea, the depth of a Baptist. Oh, let each find peace in the Father's perfect time. Seek the Mashiach, Yahushua, that you may live, brother. Or he will break forth like a fire upon you, O house of Joseph. Yea, a house of many colors, the covering, the tent of meeting, yea, a hovering of Elijah upon our sons once again. And it will consume with none to quench for Bethel. Those who turn justice into wormwood in this great nation, and then all the earth, and cast righteousness down to the earth. He who made the Pleiades and Orion, and changes deep darkness into morning, and also darkens day, yea, like the night, who calls for the waters of the sea, and pours them out on the surface of the earth. Mighty Yahovah is his name, and his Son brings forth only what the Father of lights reveals in his mind. Yeah, and the love he has for the Mashiach brings the Mashiach's words forth. It is he who flashes forth destruction upon the strong, so that destruction comes upon the fortress. They hate him who reproves in the gate, and they arbor him who speaks integrity. Therefore, because you impose rent on the poor and exact a tribute of grain from them, you have built houses of well-hewn stone, yet you will not live in them. You have planted pleasant vineyards, yet you will not drink their wine. For the eyes know your transgressions are many, and your sins are great. Who distress the righteous, accept bribes, and turn aside the poor in the gate. Therefore, at such a time, the prudent person keeps silent, for it is an evil time. Seek good and not evil, that you may live. And thus may mighty Yahovah, our God of hosts, in the everlasting glory in each of our hearts, that bring heaven upon the earth, be with you, brother, just as we, yea, just as you have said. Hate evil, love good, and establish justice in the gate. Perhaps mighty Yahovah, our hosts, will forgive each of us, and that the arch of Baal can come tumbling down before the 8th day, or let destruction come upon them all. May be gracious, yea, to the remnant of Joseph, yea, the spiritual tribes of Israel. Therefore, thus says mighty Yahovah, God of hosts, Yahoshua, there is wailing in all the plazas, and in all the streets they say, Alas, oh, alas, oh. They also call the farmer to mourning, and professional mourners to lamentation. And in all the vineyards, wailing, because the eyes will pass through the midst of each of you. He says, mighty Yahovah, like that treasured day when the blood must be seen upon your doorpost, or your firstborn, your hope of glory will be taken away. Because he will put his hand, a covering around each of us as he passes by, setting us on the cleft of the rock. Because the eyes will pass through the midst of you, says mighty Yahovah. Alas, alas, you who are longing for the day of Yahovah. For what purpose? The day of mighty Yahovah. What purpose do you have for it? It is his day, not yours. Darkness. Yeah, it's darkness and not light. As when a man flees from a lion and a bear meets him, or goes home, leans his hand against the wall, and a snake bites him. Not the day of Yahovah. Darkness instead of light. Even gloom with no brightness in it. The eyes hate. The eyes reject your festivals, nor do the eyes delight in your solemn assemblies, even though you offer up to Yahovah burnt offerings and your grain offerings. The eyes will not accept, and the eyes will not look at the peace offerings of your fatlings. Take them away from us, the noise, of their songs. The eyes will not even listen to the sound of our harps. But let justice roll down like waters, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. Let our hand and our heart go to its proper place as we send honor to each and every Marine. Jeremiah 22:3. Semper Fi. Do or die. Everlasting men. Masters of the raging sea. Did you present us with sacrifices and grain offerings in the wilderness for 40 years, O house of Israel? Well, all shall be revealed in Yahovah's perfect time by his Son, Yahoshua, in the living Word, the revelation of all time. You also carried along Sikkuth, your king, and Cain, your images, the star of your little gods, your demons, yea, your carvings and images which you made yourselves, even digital ones. We bind them all in the name of Yahoshua, that no righteous man could be done this way ever again. Therefore, let the eyes make you go into exile beyond Damascus, says mighty Yahovah, whose name is the God of hosts, and the everlasting glory he sent upon this earth to rule, reign, and create all. Yahoshua, the great temple light, yea, the first of many fruits taken from the earth, yea, by those evil vine dressers of old, those at ease in Zion. Yea, go find that word if you want more this day in the house. Yea, the house of evermore, the school of everlasting glory. Yea, let us read the children's books, that the loving ways that they love to stitch the lace in their words upon their children's hearts can be as a Hanukkah surprise for their little daughters. Let each one be bold as a lion and tell their bar mitzvah brothers what the evil in the land of Mystery Babylon is doing, that they may save them and forgive their fathers, and we can all turn and be with the Mashiach. Yea, like this day, the peace, yea, that we recharged on the Sabbath day, going forth, yea, radiant and magnificent upon the earth, blessing those who wantonly come to receive the seed we have, yea, in our sack. Pomegranate seeds, yea, 613 ways of everlasting delight, a spiritual nature, yea, a Mashiach hidden in the hearts and minds of everlasting